By standing together and denouncing the few who would try to derail these demonstrations, Canadians are sending the message that they will never tolerate injustice. To young Black Canadians, I hear you when you say you are anxious and angry, when you say that this brings back painful experiences of racism that you've faced. I want you to know that I'm listening and that your government will always stand with you. Together, we will keep taking meaningful action to fight racism and discrimination in every form. The status quo, where people face violence because of the color of their skin, is unacceptable. No parent should have to once again explain to their kids that they or their friends might face racism. It is time, it is past time for this to change. As leaders and allies, we must do the hard work needed to listen and learn. We must ensure that everyone is safe and respected. That includes journalists, who need to be able to do their work on the front lines to expose the truth and tell the stories we need to hear. And we must, as Canadians, always keep working together to build a fairer, better, more equitable country for all. We need to do better in Canada. We need to continue to know that even though we have made strides forward in the fight against racism and discrimination, racism still exists in Canada. Anti-Black racism, systemic discrimination, unconscious bias are lived realities every day for millions of Canadians. We need to stand beside them. We need to be allies. We need to work in our daily lives to counter discrimination, racism, and intolerance. As a government, we've made many investments over the past 5 years, whether it's on community programs run by racialized communities, whether it's on Statistics Canada doing a better job at collecting disaggregated data, whether it's investments in anti-Black racism strategies or anti-racism strategies in general. But there is always more to do, and ultimately, we need to do it together as Canadians and be better allies. As for those who took advantage of these peaceful protests to do significant damage to communities and stores, as we saw in Montreal, we have to condemn those actions strongly. They do not represent the peaceful protesters who are standing up for very real issues in Canada. We need to continue to make sure that peaceful protest is always able to happen in Canada. I think we all have a role to play. We've all seen things in our lives or done things in our lives that we need to learn from and do significantly better from. I have spoken many times about how deeply I regret my actions that hurt many, many people. But at the same time, we need to focus on doing better every single day, regardless of what we did or hadn't done in our past. We need to work together through this. We need to keep standing up for each other. We need to be there to say that every day we can do better as a country, as a world. And I will be part of that. I will continue to be an ally to minority communities, to racialized communities across this country and around the world.